Hello. Right. I'm going to talk about something I think that concerns everybody in the world. And it is really flowing from Russia-Ukraine crisis there. And of course you find that, on April 21st, missile was fired, ICBM, the Russian version, the R28 Sarmat. And what I'm really very concerned about really is that, is it really necessary to go to that extent? And for that reason, I became very interested into following what actually is the real happening in Ukraine that caused, for the leader there in Russia, Putin, that to have to resort to warning that there shouldn't be further escalation of the conflict. And I think we should stop pouring in more weapons and resources and throwing in weapons. I would say throw, because whatever weapons you send across and throw and give and put in Ukraine, it only benefits the arms dealers, because the orders come and they make profits out of it. But then when you go to the ground, the soldiers may not be able to adapt to use to the new machines, the new machinery. Now, but that's beside the point. But the really important point is that the missile that was fired from Kosmodrome, Kosmodrome, just to the north of Moscow, and it flew some distance. And the target hit was Kamchatka Peninsula. Now, right, that proves that it has that level of accuracy. Now, if it swayed a little down, it would have hit Tokyo. And I think Japanese people should also be very, very concerned that the politicians in Japan do not add fuel to fire, because the warhead of the ICBM, the Russian ICBM, has got 10 to 15 or 16 warheads, depending on whether it's light or heavy. And therefore 15 cities near Tokyo could be hit. Is it necessary to drive the conflict in Ukraine to that level? Don't make the Ukraine crisis, war in Ukraine, go beyond this border. Let the Russians. Now I recommend that you listen to the explanation in English, and I think the Russian ambassador to Indonesia speaks good English, and simple and easy to comprehend and direct. Lyudmila Vorobieva. Listen to her views, and it comes across as honest, and and I think in order to have a balanced view of the situation in Ukraine, and she made it very clear, it is what happened is not just suddenly that Russia entered into Ukraine. The war started in 2014. And Mariupol has shown that there are Nazis in Mariupol doing awful and atrocities. Now next, ICBM, if it had been tilted the other direction, it was headed towards this Kamchatka Peninsula, but it has been redirected, it could have hit Washington easily. Then the big question is, and here the American people should be very concerned, what the politicians are doing. Are they doing anything to calm things down, or are they adding fuel and with all the sanctions? And why? Because ultimately the American people will pay the price for such folly. And if the ground missile defense system does not work, and it's not likely to work, it's not likely, that's my personal view, it hasn't reached that level of perfection, then I think we are taking a big risk. And of course I stay in Singapore, and the range of the ICBM can easily hit Singapore. my own hometown. And therefore I will be very cautious, and I'm watching the situation, that really Singapore shouldn't raise the tension. Yes, we have got a naval base in Singapore, and that put us at risk. If you see the picture, it's shown that U.S. aircraft carrier was there, and therefore we had to be concerned of what's happening in Ukraine, and really Singaporeans themselves should watch what politicians are doing about this. That they should not ever aggravate things. We should help to calm things down and resolve things amicably. If you put in more and more weapons to Ukraine, you wouldn't help to solve the problem. You will make the situation worse. In the end, all this weaponry will end up maybe to the unintended recipients of it. In any case, we all should work towards resolving the issue. I think Russia has got a case that has to be heard by the world community, because they also had the right to security. It cannot be just a one-way street. Thank you.